Hey everyone, thanks for dropping by and checking out my video today. I've been playing Myth of Empires again, and what I'm realizing is, man, there were so many changes from the way it was when I was playing it before. Now, as some of you know, with Myth of Empires, I run my own server. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, except that the server is based out of China or somewhere over there in the Far East, and I'm obviously not in the Far East. So I have a certain amount of server lag. Well, again, that's generally not necessarily a bad thing either, except it usually happens at the most inopportune times, particularly if you're in the middle of one of these little one-horse bridges that have kind of a bend in them. This one that crosses this waterway in particular, I'm referring to, and you hit one of those server lags and you've got a horse that's not terribly maneuverable because he or she's hooked to a wagon or a cart. And then you go off in the body of water and you lose your cart and you have to go through the process of getting that stupid thing back out of the water. So I decided today I'm not going to deal with that anymore. I'm going to build a bridge. And in the process of building this bridge, I realized that they've changed the snap points on some of these building pieces from the way they functioned before. Okay? Before, I would look or position my camera kind of where I wanted the piece to go, and then the game would have intuitively put the piece in so that it would snap and lock and we were good, right? Not the way it worked today on this bridge. You know, I could stare and look until I drowned, because I did, because I wasn't paying attention to the health meter, and I still couldn't get the piece to show up. And then I figured out that's because they've kind of changed the way these snap pieces work, or at least the way it worked related to this bridge. So I'm going to show you now how this works, and it's really slick and clean the way they've done this, so that you don't have to, you know, hold your camera at the right position to get the perfect snap angle. Okay, so you see right in front of me, I'm missing a pillar. I don't necessarily need it, but I'm going to put it in there so it's aesthetically, you know, comparable to all the other pieces, and it works for the sake of this video. So we come in here and we're going to put this pillar in, right? Okay, so in this case it's put it directly where it needs to be, but obviously you see it's not long enough to go all the way down to the bottom. Now if you look over here to the left, it's showing building bind point. It's only giving me one snap point. All right, where it says building bind point Q 1 of 1, it's only giving me one snap point. If I move closer, now it's giving me 4. It'll allow me to put one on the top. If I don't want that, I can push Q or hold Q, and it will push it. Did it push it down below, or did it just push me down below? Let me go back. Okay, yeah, some of those are underwater that they're not showing. Okay, but now I've caused ripples in the water, which makes it harder to see, but okay, so let me go back. We'll hit it again. Okay, so now it's in position under there. Okay, if I hit Q, it's going to move it. Okay, it moved it over to the left. See where the little arrow circly thing is? Now it moves it back. So we've got 1 of 1 bind spot now. So we click and it locks it in, but it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. So I change my view and I can see it used to be, if you did this and you look down here, it would show up, you know, to lock in underneath that, but it doesn't do that anymore, right? But if you look at your building bind points, you've got 1 of 2. So you don't see it there because it's trying to bind it somewhere else. So we hit our Q. Now it shows up and it binds and it builds in. So what they've done, they've allowed multiple bind spots on some of these pieces depending upon where you're standing. And if you don't like how it's positioned, you hit Q and it moves it to the next bind spot. Okay, so now you don't have to get your camera in the right spot or your character in the right spot to turn your head or your camera angle or however to get these bind points to work. I think it's really slick. I think it's really clean. It's not something it's intuitive to most games like this, but it works, and it took me a while to figure that out. I had to drown once to do it in the process, but yeah, I really like the way they've done that, and I think it really helps, particularly on bridge building, with the placement of those pillars. If you're building from the top, essentially top down, and I'm sure it'd work the same for building from the ground up. Your snap point would be different. So anyway, if that was helpful, leave a like, comment. I appreciate it. Hopefully help you in your gameplay and save you some time, because it took me quite a while to figure that out, what was going on with that process, because I was accustomed to the way it was before, which is kind of similar to Conan Exiles, but this is different now in the way they've approached it. So anyway, I hope that helped. Have a great day.